Set him up for a clothesline. He got him. Hammered him to the mat. A knee drop. That could be it right there. Could be lights out for Invader 1. Picks him up, takes a look at him, throws him into the ropes. He's coming out with a flying dropkick. He got him high. For disqualification right there. Constantly not pinning him. Big clothesline. Dumped him hard to the mat. Seemingly Invader 1 now has the upper hand. Going for the pin. 1. They're both struggling. Nobody can get the other one. The next thing, look out! Boom! Kabang! Right into the mat. Seemingly might have met their match here this afternoon. Oh my! Giant clothesline drilled him to the mat. Picks him up, wails him off the ropes. Here we come again. Big, look out! Take him off the ropes again. Picks him up, back body drop. Boom! Look out! Randall. Big shoulder block by Randall. That could do it right there. That could be lights out. Winding and firing. Big elbow smash. Slick Steenerson laying there. Kid USA Kelsey back in the ring. Slick Steenerson, he needs me. I think he's got a piece of rope in there that he took off from the corner. Slick Steenerson, he's got a piece of rope hiding it from the referee. Referee seemingly doesn't see, but I think I saw it. There's a rope in there. He's got it right around his neck. Slick Steenerson lapping it up. Contracts or whatever, setting him up. Rams his head into the big knee. With destructor anymore, but par into the ropes, in the middle of a big clothesline. He's got him. Put him into that full Nelson, taking him into the corner. Now they're both beating on him.
Kid USA Kelsey at ringside here. Mr. Macho swinging a kick. Crusher Crossen. Working on that arm. Whoa! Drops the leg on that arm that Mr. Macho was working on when he was busted open. And looks like a gut-wrench suplex. Down for the cover. 1, 2. Going up to the top turnbuckle. Uh-oh. He caught him. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Right onto the mat.
Set him up for a clothesline. He got him. Hammered him to the mat. A knee drop. That could be it right there. Could be lights out for Invader 1. Picks him up, takes a look at him, throws him into the ropes. He's coming out with a flying dropkick. He got him high. For disqualification right there. Constantly not pinning him. Big clothesline dumped him hard to the mat. Seemingly Invader 1 now has the upper hand. Going for the pin. 1. They're both struggling. Nobody can get the other one. The next thing, look out! Boom! Kabang! Right into the mat. Seemingly might have met their match here this afternoon. Oh my! Giant clothesline drilled him to the mat. Picks him up, wails him off the ropes. Here we go again. Big, look out! Take him off the ropes again. Picks him up, back body drop. Boom! Look out! Randall. Big shoulder.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Thursday night and we are live. I am your host, Dixie Dave, along with my co-host, the Schmucker Crossen.
5-time NWF World Champion in shape Crusher. Just got to say.
And thank God he didn't play the video today that he played on Forward.
Which video?
Your egomaniacal video that
You mean the new Crusher Crossen graphic?
yes.
Yeah, Ricky didn't like that.
You know,
But you know
I've been telling people for years about your ego. And
Yeah,
finally somebody else sees it.
you know, I just thought it was a cool picture, you know, and I don't think Ricky liked it too much though. I'm trying to see if I had it handy. I'd show you what it was. I think I do.
I saw it.
No, I mean the fan. I know you saw it, but people are probably wondering what we're talking about.
Well, if they watch Forward, they know exactly what we're talking about.
I know. It makes me wonder how many people watch Forward versus how many people watch Rewind. You know, I think we have different audiences sometimes. You know,
possibly.
And so I'm just not quite sure. I think I know where I've got this graphic actually. Oh, it's in here. Yeah, here it is, guys. This is what I showed, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's see. How do I? Why is this come? Oh, I gotta remove that. There. This is my new Crusher Crossen graphic. And I wanted to replace the other one because why should I show a graphic that doesn't represent what I look like, Dave? I thought.
Well, I mean, come on. You haven't updated my graphic in 3 or 4 years.
Well, your graphic, do you want me to update your graphics right now?
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying.
You know, upon what you're saying, my graphic doesn't really represent me anymore.
And everybody's saying, Crusher, you're getting in really good shape. What's going on here? Well, you know what? Pay attention to these podcasts coming up and you're going to find out what's going on here. Some big news around the horizon. I'm not going to say much, but that's all I'm going to say. And let me tell you something. You guys are going to be in for a big surprise. We'll just say that. So big things coming. I can't wait.
Okay, now I'm trying to remember. We have a commenter in there.
Let's see.
I'm trying to remember if that's Wayne.
God, THX. Yes, that is Wayne. Wayne is here. We don't have the Gizmo crew in here yet. They're usually, well, maybe they are in here. I don't know. But let's see what Wayne's saying. Now, this is Wayne. The names are all messed up, but I know this is Wayne. I want to see it. So yeah, there's your graphic, Wayne. And that's my new, I'm changing the thumbnails and getting rid of the overweight Crusher and putting in the new Crusher. So, and yeah, like Wayne's one of these guys. He only watches the Rewind. So no offense, Ricky. Not everybody's a fan of Ricky. He's got to just get over it.
He watches Rewind because he's a fan of Dixie Dave.
Oh, I didn't know you were in the same school as Wayne like I was and stuff, you know. We got to have Wayne come on again as a guest. I know Wayne wants to do round 2 of the backyard talk. I know he does. And by the way, speaking of that, I got a message from, let me get this in quick though. I got a message from somebody, Wayne, maybe you know, I don't know if you know this person, maybe you do, but he was telling me that he used to do, a fellow Minnesota guy, and he was booking shows and armories as an untrained teenager back in the 90s and 2000s, AWO. Wayne, are you familiar with AWO? And so he's kind of saying how the NWF paved the way for them, and he'd like to maybe come on as a guest. And I'd like to do that. I think that would make a great guest. That's right up our alley. Yeah, Gator McGraw, correct, Wayne. So Wayne does know him. Yeah, Gator McGraw. So I'd like to do that. I think that'd be a fun Rewind show, you know. I'm always looking for, man, back in the day I searched, I think I've told this story, but I searched for anybody that was doing anything like we were doing, just to have a collaboration of some kind. And
the only collaboration we could find, you know, was some jabroni named Ed Sharkey.
Yeah, some schmuck named Ed Sharkey, huh? Yeah, that was pretty
Yep.
good. That was a pretty good collaboration for us, so I'll
Oh
say.
yeah.
And it was a great look. My relationship with Eddie Sharkey in the '80s was solid. I mean, we had a lot of respect for each other. You know, I was only 16 years old, but Eddie respected me at 16 and treated me as an equal, which he's way up here, guys, compared to me. But he made me feel just as important as he was. That was the quality of Eddie Sharkey. I'm talking like he's passed away. Look, Eddie's still alive, guys.
Oh yeah.
No, he was just very supportive of me. And
Well, you know, I mean,
yes,
you were talking about him like he has passed, but I mean, come on, Eddie Sharkey is what, 80, 90 something?
right, he's not involved anymore like he used to be and stuff. And I
Right.
guess he still shows up here and there. And I don't, you know, when people get that old, I just want them to enjoy the what life they have left and that they're going to be on this earth. And I don't want to pester him. People say, why don't you get Eddie Sharkey to come on with us? I don't know if Eddie's computer savvy. He doesn't do. I've never seen him on a podcast. I'm not going to try to pester somebody like him in his golden years to come on our show.
Right.
So, you know,
I mean, it'd be a blast to have him on.
I would love it, but I'm not going to be the one to say, hey, come on our show and then try to, you know, Keaton and I, when we did Kayfabe with Keaton, we'd have guys come on that have been around a long time, like Marty Jones and others. And it was always sometimes a struggle to get them to do the technology to get in. It was just I just don't want to pester, you know? So Wayne says, I told him he would be a great guest on Rewind. So yeah, I agree. You know, if Ricky was here, Wayne, he'd be like, Wayne needs to learn how to spell. Rewind does not got an N. You know, Ricky's always correct. Somebody needs to slap that kid up, in my opinion. Ricky Henry. He's gotten a really cocky attitude these days. I just saying. And you know, Ricky, I know you're gonna hear this. So yeah, he is. And Ricky, as you've seen on forward, he said, Crusher, you're such an egomaniac. He calls me an egomaniac. And then the next sentence later, or whenever, minute later, then he's like, I'm number one, you're number two. Who the hell has an ego now? Because one person, one of Ricky's guys over there in Ireland, says he thinks Ricky makes a better NWF champ than Crusher did. That was why Ricky thinks he's all number one. Gizmo and those guys would have chimed in though and taught him straight, I think. Well,
you know, I mean, you claimed to wrestle internationally.
Oh, this is interesting. Well, I did. In the kayfabe storylines.
Yeah.
He has a match this past Saturday that was his first match in 17 years. So Wayne was there to photograph it. That's awesome. So 17 years. It's never too late to get back in the ring. And so good for him. And I'm thinking that, you know, what do you know? You never know what may come of things like this, right?
Yep.
We'll just leave it at that.
Well, all I'm going to say on that subject is I personally feel that being the referee for that match, you've caught the bug again.
Everybody thinks I caught the bug again.
Well,
I will tell you this, and I will promise you this. If Crusher Crossen gets back in the ring again, it won't be a Ric Flair 2.0.
You know,
it will not be a Ric Flair 2.0. I won't allow that.
You know, with the Terry Funks of the world, with the Ric Flairs of the world, with the Dennis Knights of the world, you got to admit something, Crusher. The only way a wrestler is truly ever retired is once he's in that pine box.
No, I get it. I mean, yeah, your heart and passion is in it, but physically, I will not physically be a Ric Flair 2.0 that he tried doing. If Flair, I'm going to say this once. If Flair would have taken the time that like I've taken to get yourself in physical shape and prepare for this so that you go in, you know, with the physical to the best of your ability, it would have made a difference. And then if
Right.
Flair would have avoided doing ridiculous things that he can't do anymore, Dave, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it, Dave.
Oh, I know.
Pay attention to the crowd.
I am.
I have to correct Dave.
Oh, I'm not trying to jump ahead. I'm just.
I know. But no, and if he wouldn't have tried doing these like moves that he just can't do anymore, he wouldn't have looked as bad as he did when he did
Right.
what he did. So there's a couple things. You need to work the right kind of match. You need to do the right things. Do what you can do good still. Avoid what you can't do good. And look good. It's that simple.
Right.
You know, look physically presentable. So,
You know,
but I'm giving away too much. I'm giving away too much. Guys, you just have to stay tuned to the podcast. You'll see what's going to happen.
well, you know, what I'm going to say on that subject, like you and I have talked about, if I were to ever win the Powerball jackpot,
Yeah.
I would get myself set up something like what Troy had.
Yeah, it was a good setup. Speaking of those guys, I want to talk about them for a minute.
Yep,
But
I
but
partially
before
did
I
that.
get to that, before I get to that though, Dave, I wanted to say this though. You know, I've been as you guys know, I've really been getting in really good shape, right? And I feel good, you know. And Ricky says I didn't have an ego. I thought I'm gonna prove it. I don't have an ego. I'm wearing the Crusher shirt. No ego here. So I'm proving it. But what I was gonna say is I'm training in more ways you'll ever know. I can't say, but let's just say that I'm not just doing weightlifting and conditioning, guys. I'm doing other training in more ways you'll ever understand for right now. And we're just gonna leave it at that. That's enough. That's enough talk from Crusher, because otherwise Crusher talks too much and we're gonna say things we don't want to say yet. Let's see. Gizmo is here. He says, Crusher, we love the new look. I think Ricky is getting worried about how well you are shaping up. I think so. You know, and it's not, look, guys, Ricky, yeah, he needs to get in shape and he's going to the gym. But man, it's kind of a coincidence that not only himself, but John McCann as well, both started hitting the gym up once they seen Crusher's results.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh? Because John wasn't going to the gym either. Now, John's a physical specimen to begin with. You know, he looks like he goes to the gym, but he hadn't been going very much. But when he's seen the progress Crusher was making, he's like, all of a sudden he's going. Then Ricky's going. Coincidence? Maybe. All right. And it says, sounds like someone is rolling on the wrestling mats already. I didn't say that. I didn't say that necessarily, did I? I don't think so.
I didn't hear that come out of your mouth.
But guys, if Crusher's going to get back in the ring, you know Crusher's going to prepare properly.
But you know, on to other things. We were talking about Slick.
Yes, we got some birthday announcements.
I had to message Crusher and remind him earlier today.
Well, I mean, I knew they were this month, and but these are kind of important birthdays. You know, I don't always point out birthdays, but this one particular one is actually today.
Yep.
And it's none other than Slick Steenerson, Troy Steenerson. It is his birthday today. So happy birthday, Slickster. He was such a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
He is a good guy. I shouldn't say such. I'm not going to talk to him. He's still alive. But, you know, Steenerson, Dave knows this, was a prankster. He was a jokester.
Big time.
Ribber, yeah, whatever you want to call it. He would always make you laugh.
Mr. Fire Extinguisher.
Guy. Oh yeah, just the things, the jokes and the pranks and everything. I mean, there's so many things he did back in the day. But as far as Troy was the only one besides myself that made it to Eddie Sharkey.
Yeah.
And got to work with Eddie in the PWA.
Well, aside from your match that you had with Mr. X.
Well, yeah. Well, Steve and Larry, yes, we collaborated, and Steve went on as a manager as well. Larry blew it. He was booked to come on one of the shows and didn't show up. And so he blew his opportunity to come back to the PWA.
Not something you want to do with Ed Sharkey.
No. And I think Steve got him into it, and then he didn't show. You don't show. If you don't show up for Eddie Sharkey, you get one chance.
You don't show up for Eddie, you're basically blackballed the business.
Well, he's just not going to call you again, and you're not going to
Yeah.
be welcome back. So that's Troy's birthday today, and also tomorrow, it's this guy's birthday. Tim Holland, Thandar the Barbarian, one of the toughest, Dave. One of the toughest in our show. Actually, two of the toughest. I want to rephrase that because Troy was also a tough customer.
That's one thing I would have hated to see is Tim and Troy pissed off at each other.
Right, because let me tell you something. Troy's a fun guy, prankster, jokester, give you the shirt off his back as a friend. If he didn't know you and you crossed him, look out.
Look out.
Yeah, he had a streak with him that, I wouldn't mess with if I didn't. I mean, he would mess you up. He was strong. So was this guy. And I'll tell you something, Tim, when I, as world champion, sometimes you get into matches and egos clash. And Dave, we had our match, me and Thandar, and it was a big ego clash. He had an ego, I had an ego, and we went head to head. And as a champion, you have to be able to go up against anybody in the Fed and take them on. Right. If you're outmatched, it doesn't matter. You got to put it up the fight sometimes. And that's what happened in this match. It was a very rough and tumble match. We were actually shooting for a lot of it. And I had people tell me at the time, friends of friends, saying, hey, we seen that on cable. It was such a good match. And, because back in these kayfabe days, there was a certain crowd base that loved seeing that because a lot of people believed it was real or had a feeling it could be somewhat real. There was never a clear-cut case that this is fake. Not cut and dry. There's always that, like, is this real? And so there was a little bit of that. And so when people would see a match where they knew there was true intensity like me and Tim had, they could see it and they enjoyed it, because we were being competitive with one another. And, we both walked away from that match with a lot more respect for one another. The only time Tim made me mad, you guys like stories, is the Superstar Spectacular 87 show. When Tim and Jerry and that cousin who I don't even want to mention because he was just pointless. He was there for one thing. He was a fill-in in the Battle Royal. He wasn't a part of us. But the three of them
went into business
triple team
for themselves.
Went into business for themselves, triple team me and went against the plan of me winning the Battle Royal and preventing me from winning. Now, I'm not mad because I didn't win the Battle Royal. I was mad because it looked like crap. This is a Battle Royal not going the way it's supposed to and going on for another 10 or 20 minutes because I'm fighting through it. John Hoffman, I remember, said, oh, Crusher, you fought on so valiantly, though. It was you really showed you. Yeah, maybe. But that's not what people are tuning into pro wrestling to see. So I wasn't happy with that. And I was, for a long time, was really mad at Tim and the way he handled it. Now, to Tim's credit, 20-some years later, he reached out to me on Facebook and wholeheartedly apologized for that whole thing.
Right.
Saying that it really felt bad. That's not who he is today and that he really feels bad. And for him to come back all these years later when we don't have it's not like I talk to Tim all the time. He just wanted to come out and say that to me. To have it on his conscience, to want to get that off his chest, I have the utmost respect for him.
Right. And to be honest, I think that apology was a sincere apology, unlike the apology that we heard from Steve Engstrom months ago.
I had a feeling that's where you're going there. But yeah, you're right. It was a wholehearted apology by Tim. And I appreciated that, because I was very bitter. I mean, I held that with me too. But then when he brought it up all these years later to want to say sorry for all that, apologies mean a lot, no matter how late they come in life.
Oh,
they
yeah.
mean a lot. So,
speaking of fellow NWF wrestlers,
get this graphic off.
I had an instance like that with Gary Parr.
Yeah.
Away from in the ring, we were always professional with each other. But away from the ring, we had a long-standing rivalry.
Right. And you were saying that I went back to your school days.
Yeah, it went like all the way back to first grade. We had a rivalry that long. And when I met my current fiance, you know the situation that she was in when I met her. I'm not going to go into it on air. But Gary had experienced something similar to that. And I wanted to prove
with his neck.
to her that there was still life after her injury that she had. And I reached out to Gary. And he specifically took the time to say, hey, what happened in the past, I'm sorry. I was a different person back then.
Yeah.
And
well, that's just it. People they learn from their mistakes, after a while, especially when you get older. You kind of look back at your life, and there's things I did when I was younger that I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Everybody has those kind of moments. Our show tonight, Dave, we're going to watch. We should talk a little bit about it. But before I do, what do we got to do, Dave?
What's coming up on the Video Network?
On the Video Network and the YouTube Membership Club. If you join as a member in our YouTube channel and join the Championship Club, you get to see this as well there. So everything on the Video Network is also available on the YouTube Championship Club, so you can see it right on YouTube. You don't have to go to Vimeo necessarily. So it's your choice, but you get the same stuff in either spot. Let's see what's going to come up on the
spots.
It is. It's
okay.
1080p in both areas, and you get, you don't get me and Dave gabbing away over the video in a lesser resolution like we do on Rewind. So you get the full 1080p resolution in the Championship Club, full screen. Everything without us.
Right.
But anyways, here's what's coming up on the network, and this is going to be coming up here the middle of the month on the 15th. Let's take a look, and then we'll be back.
Yeah.
It's putting on pressure. Got a headlock. Punch. Yeah.
Asking for a strength competition. Oh, he needs him in the stomach. Oh, he's taking him down, Rockin' Reynolds. Oh, throws him up against the other turnbuckle. Oh, clothesline right in the face.
Me and Crusher and X are the 6-man tag team champ.
And you can hear him now.
Yeah, I do. Me and Dean want a match, but we have Ace and me, Kid Kelsey, and there's former one half of the tag team champions, and there's a slap to the face.
The blimp as I do. Well, what do you have to say about him?
Well, it looks like we are having the arrival of Crusher Crossen against Todd the Bod as he circles the ring. Oh, he looks mad, folks. He looks mad. It's Todd the Bod being worked over by Crusher Crossen. Todd the Bod is winding up. Oh! Fist! Like all the ropes. Jumping Johnson goes flying across the ring. He's giving them the full Nelson. Butt to the back. Jungle Man. Kelsey Kid. Jungle Man John. Oh, smashed his head right up against the.
30 seconds, boys.
30 seconds. Throws him against the ropes. Oh, and a clothesline. Oh, here comes Pretty Boy Taylor going to work on Ace. Here comes Jumping Johnson working on Michael Madness. Pretty Boy Taylor. Oh, and out goes Butcher. Oh, and out of the ring goes Pretty Boy Taylor. Crusher Crossen eliminates him. As Kid Kelsey is distracted. Oh, into the pipe as that was 3-4. Oh, 5. Look at the blood dripping down Crusher Crossen.
Just a 5-minute match. 5 minutes. Anything goes with that chump.
So, whoa, how do we get here?
Ooh,
Oh, actually,
you've got to bring me back in.
Got to bring you back. Yeah, the garage days, earlier days of the league, still not, obviously didn't, we weren't quite ready for armory shows then, but we were getting there. It was learning years. And, of course, that blood you saw wasn't real. Don't be alarmed. It wasn't, us kids weren't blading or juicing in those days.
No.
But yeah, that was fun time in the garage. It was definitely a learning curve for us there. We were able to really grow. It was a good time
Yep.
for the garage days. The reason, this is an interesting comment. Gizmo says, Crusher wrestling in a polo shirt. This is a new one. I love the parachute pants. They would look good with your classic half shirt. Well, the reason I was in a polo shirt is because I wasn't going to wrestle that day. Me and my sister were fighting. I always fought with my older sisters. And before, like a week before, and she kicked me really hard in the tailbone to the point where I couldn't bump. I was sore. And so I didn't think I could even do a match. So I was real limited in what I could do in that match. But I still went through and did it. But I wasn't planning on it. So that's why, because I wasn't 100%.
Right.
So, but I ended up doing it. So we should probably get our show started now. Well, we haven't even talked about it. So we're going to watch Studio Taping 101 from the Dayton Pole Barn Studios. And this one features Crusher Crossen and Mr. Macho. If you've seen the Instagram stories and stuff, they're kind of mentioning how, the Macho and Stenerson there was a big match. This was Mike was great to work with, but he could also be tough to work with. This wasn't our best match. Not our worst, but not our best. But it's certainly okay. And Mike was definitely smoother to work with at this point in time when it was later on like this. But in the beginning, Mike was tough. He was very stiff. I mean, it's not stiff hard like hurting, just stiff in not being flexible.
Right.
That kind of stiff. And I remember that. But he was much more looser now in this time period. And a lot of the matches in the Dayton are pretty good. They're more polished, or wrestling is definitely cleaned up a lot more here in these shows. So, but remember, guys, our disclaimer as always, this is old school. This is not modern wrestling. So when you watch this stuff, you're going to probably, for those of you who are wrestlers or been in the wrestling business, you're going to say, ooh, they're not doing this. They're not doing that. All that stuff wasn't fine-tooth comb like it is today. That wasn't a factor like it is now.
Right.
Old school was rough around the edges, always was. The training even was not. I mean, your training was 6 months, and then that's it. That's all you got was 6 months just to learn the basics. And then your rest of your training came from just working.
Right.
That's the way it was. And it's just how it was. So,
well, I mean,
but what I'm trying to say is it wasn't.
It's not picture perfect, but
yeah, it wasn't like it is today.
What we do.
Right. I'm just saying it wasn't like, it's not the crispness like it is today.
Right.
But it definitely has the old school flair. You'll feel it. You'll remembering the matches of the 80s, it's going to have that kind of style. So let's get the show started, and we'll keep going with questions. And yeah, so here we go. Everybody's speculating on what's Crusher going to do. Why is he getting in such good shape? Guys, just keep tuning in, because that announcement and news of such will come.
As far as I know, it's just you're getting to be an old man and you don't want to die young, so you're getting in shape.
I'll tell you something. Who's one thing Ricky shot his big mouth off, and everybody remembers. He said when Gizmo and them asked him, do you really think you could take on Crusher in a wrestling match? And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. And Ricky just confidently says he's going to be able to beat me in any kind of a shoot. Oh, if I get to Ireland, this kid better be ready for that. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, Ricky boy. You better be able to back that up.
Well, if you go back in our comments, I saw somebody just say, book a flight to Ireland now.
Oh, I see that. Somebody says, book your flight to Ireland now. Of course, we don't know anything yet. Nothing's been announced, but I would say tune into the podcast, because you'll find out what's going to happen soon. You know, forward podcast particularly.
Action coming your way this week. It looks like I'm here all by myself this week for the announcing.
There's
You know
Bob
who I am,
Pfeiffer, great
beautiful
guy.
Bobby Ferrari, but we got plenty of action coming your way right after
Bobby
this.
Ferrari was his character name. This is
Oh,
some
yeah.
of the only surviving footage from the March Armory card that Steve Engstrom recorded over.
The assist slam.
Yeah, well, supposedly Mike didn't get to reach him. I had to actually slam him. Couldn't do it in practice, but I did it there. Troy doesn't look it, but he weighed 250 pounds here, guys. He was very
yeah.
thick. Yeah, he stepped on a scale. I seen it go to 250 because I didn't believe him when he told me. Yep. He's supposed to pay me $1,000 if I slam him, so that's what they're doing. And I'm throwing the money to the kids, like I said I was going to do in my interviews. And Mike, if you heard me whisper, he goes, "That's my money, Sean," because it was his money, and I'm throwing it away. The idea is he drops a bill, and then Troy takes advantage. They never had all the money to begin with. It was just that was the plan. It was a good finish for that match. I mean, ending to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is producer
Yeah.
Jason Clausen here.
March
reminding
Armory
you
card,
to
Night
tune
of
in
Night of
to
Wrestling,
the
we called it.
NWF Saturday
It's a great show.
afternoon
Yep.
special,
Wish we had it on
from
tape still.
NWF Studios, only on cable channel 3.
Unfortunately, it got recorded over by Steve Engstrom.
Oh boy, they're seemingly not too well liked by the fans here.
All right, guys, it's the Irish Terror, Jamie McParland. He was just on with us last show
Invader 1, ladies and
against
gentlemen.
Terry Block, a.k.a. Invader 1. Terry very well in the ring. Jamie just starting out here. Great match. This is a great match.
Yep.
Really is.
NWF.
That's Rick Pitts reffing with a shirt that's way too small.
We're going to have youth matches, a lightweight division. Ring the bell and let's go to ringside. And on with what I was talking about.
Now, we don't... Jamie's got wrestling boots on. Terry couldn't afford them. Like most of us, he wasn't full of money. So he just got white socks pulled up high to look like boots. A lot of us did that to make it look like boots.
Yep.
Okay, man.
It's
Well,
only
I mean,
an
I
illusion.
think you had boots. Steve had boots.
In upcoming weeks.
I had boots.
And don't forget about that gigantic
Larry had
colossal
boots.
card
Yep.
live
Jamie had
at the
boots.
Anoka Armory. As we go into the ring,
Eventually, Dion at the dry dock, a lot of guys got boots. Dion Dallas got some.
ramming him
Yep.
into the ropes.
Grizzly got them.
Terror picks him up, throws him up, set
Once
him
we
up.
knew how to order them, and that was from Eddie Sharkey, he's filled us in on where to get the boots.
A knee drop.
Yeah.
That could
Then
be it right
people
there.
started
Could be
getting
lights
boots.
out for Invader 1. Going for a pin early. 1, 2, picks him
And
up.
I'm looking at that. That's the actual canvas on the mat here. It's not a tarp, so we actually got an actual canvas, which is nice. I like the canvas. Jamie always complained about it because he got mat burns, but that's because Jamie didn't wear any elbow pads.
Terror ducks out of the way. Invader goes into the rope, seemingly hurt his right shoulder.
I learned a long time ago you got to wear elbow pads if you don't want to get the mat burns on a canvas.
Either one of these two
Yep.
young combatants.
You don't wear the elbow pads to protect your elbows. It's just to protect from mat burns, really.
Well, I've seen the Irish Terror on a few occasions.
Um,
Really improved. Really improved. Real quick,
Question
I
is,
understand
are the
he's got
boots
a
soft like
background
a
in,
wrestling shoe, or are they hard? No, they're hard as a rock.
sometimes use it.
Yeah.
He is
The
fast,
bottom of those
really
boots
well
are
improved.
hard.
And
And
I'm
the
sorry,
reason
I'm looking
is
forward to seeing
because
some
you're
of the
bumping
greats
all
that
the
you mentioned.
time.
Rush
So you want to protect your ankles.
Graham. I want you to
So,
see this.
you know, so that's why the boots are very, very hard on the bottom. It's not about, so when you kick and stuff, if you get kicked with the boot, it's gonna hurt. It's like getting kicked with a rock.
Italy the last 2 weeks, but Grizzly.
You know, there's a reason why
A big individual. You're gonna
they
really
used to
wanna
make a big deal out of it when a wrestler pulled their boot off and smacked somebody with it.
Yeah. They're very hard, though. Very, very hard. I always thought they'd be nice, soft, and spongy, so, you know, when you kick somebody, they'd be nice, you know, comforting. No. The idea is, it's all about protecting your ankle. So you can take massive bumping. You can do a lot of bumping, landing on you, because you land on your feet a lot.
Yeah.
Nice drop kick. I'm very, very proud to say that I helped teach Terry that drop kick in Fred Moore Junior High in our training days.
Flying drop kick by Invader 1 as he picks him up for a suplex, rolls over, can't get him. Irish Terror tries to reverse it.
Yeah, we used to train in Fred Moore the opposite days we did shows. So we were in there every Saturday.
What is this?
Right.
One Saturday we're taping, the other Saturday we're practicing. So tape, practice, tape, practice. We'd alternate like that.
Two count. He could have pulled him out. What do you? I don't know about those kind of tactics.
Oh yeah, okay.
Jeff, those tactics are not
So the
appreciated.
Gizmo crew, one of them says, we can't let that pass. Why were you two fingers taped together in that interview in the last video? Well, I've told the story. Remember when I said when I had my match with Steve at Brooklyn Park and I went to power slam him and I got my fingers caught behind him and I broke my finger? On that power slam I did to Steve?
Yep.
Well, that was my fingers were taped together because I was fingers in the splint because it was broke. It had just happened. And I was explaining how I broke my finger. You know, in the wrestling business, if something happens, it becomes part of the storyline.
Right.
So even though I really did break my finger, well, that became part of the show. All on the idea of selling that this is real. And if it was fake, why did I break my finger if it was fake? That's the thinking. You know. Good match, guys. Really good match here.
Oh, yeah. Jamie and Terry could always work well together.
Yeah, and you got to remember, two 13-year-olds here, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, and they're performing at this level. Not bad. For that time period, not bad at all.
I mean, with both of them, if they would have continued on,
yeah, they're
you know,
both
they
good.
could have.
Yeah, you know, I agree. You know, Jamie always puts on a good show. Jamie doesn't think it, but man, he was a lot more talented than he thought. And he's going to do we called it a German suplex, but that's incorrect. That's just a belly to back. Ricky's right. But we always called it a German suplex back in those days. We just were not right when we said that.
Made a big mistake in that match as he had his man put away twice and pulled him up. And there's your winner. And Vader
But yeah, good match. Good match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ray Johnson here. Be sure to tune in to NWF Professional Wrestling.
Of course, all the public service announcements have been eliminated.
Stars as Crusher Crossen, Mr. X, Kid USA Kelsey,
But these little promo bumpers are still in.
There's
There's my incorrect flying head scissors, but I thought it still looked cool.
Yep.
Before Eddie Sharkey smarted me up.
okay, we're going to have a little quick interview here with Invader. No, sorry, me. Irish.
I don't know why we're interviewing the loser.
Big mistake in that ring by not pinning your man when you had the chance.
Should interview the winner.
Invader 1, he's one of the greatest wrestlers, and I gotta respect him. I just wasn't on tonight, and I'm gonna try better next
You know,
time,
Jamie,
that's all I can say.
Some kind words.
Terry was respected by all the guys. Why do you think Invader? Why do you think the Irish Terror quickly became Invader 3? Because you looked up to Terry.
Even though they didn't get along.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, that was later on.
Ah.
But at first, you know, Jamie was really influenced by Terry, as was Terry Kosnoffel. That's
Yeah.
why they became Invader 3 and Invader 4.
Chad Randall and Mike Bauer pairing together to take on the Destructors. Action coming your way right now.
So the Destructor's still fairly new. Mike Bauer and Chad Randall have been at it for a while. And Chad Randall is Invader 2. They're just calling him, he's going by Chad Randall now, but that's Terry Block's partner, Invader 2. And then the Destructors. There's Gary Parr that Dave was talking about earlier in the white shirt.
With their manager, these guys look like
And that's the mystery man, the manager.
Downtown, Minneapolis, Chicago, or where have you. Seemingly not too well. In
Mike was a great technician. The other guy in the white shirt that Rick's checking out right now.
Yep.
Referee. They don't do this anymore. Refs don't check them like this. I wish that would. I don't know why that went away, Dave. I don't know why that went away. I always thought that was a good touch with the referee to check him over.
I have yet to see this combination.
There's Jeff Dinsmore commentating.
Reason for these two combining together here today?
I haven't heard.
But yeah, Mike in the white here, he was really a good technician, like wrestling wise. Now Mike was I think 18. John Hoffman, I believe, is 16 here maybe.
as Mike Bauer tags off.
15 or
Rolls
16.
him from pillar to post, rams him into the turnbuckle.
Chad Randall want to say he's 15 himself.
His corner man is holding him.
Oh, I thought he was older than that.
Referee giving him the slap in the back,
Maybe.
telling him to break the hold.
I know Chad was in football as well. John Hoffman, the guy in there in the half shirt, he was a Golden Gloves boxer and very good boxer.
Yeah.
He's another one you don't want to mess with, the guy in the half shirt. He just knows how to mess you up boxing. He knows how to use his fists. Don't mess with this guy. He went to nationals in boxing, not just state. He went to the nationals. Became a professional boxer. He was very good.
Right.
And he did boxing before the wrestling.
He was trying to make his way back to that corner, but that man seemed like Rubber Leg Street Destructor.
No, everybody's asking about Rick's shirt. That's not a half shirt. It's just a shirt that's too small. No, he doesn't have a tattoo that I know of. They're asking, does he have a tattoo on his shirt? Lower back, I don't believe so.
The real names of these guys, they just go by the Destructors.
The
I don't know anything
Destructors.
further about that. Do you, Jeff?
Doesn't seem to be much of a match so far, Bob. It looks like they're handling them pretty good. The Destructors, like you said, have met their match.
You know, adult commentators now, adult referees. This is the direction I was going with the show. I was trying to make it more professional.
Right.
Mike Bauer.
We really were trying to be, we really were morphing in, this is where we were morphing into the indie fed,
Right.
the proper indie fed, which we then became.
I'm trying to remember if this
Unknown studs. And I'm sure you've all heard about them. Two-man field throw right
is,
oh my, a big backdrop.
was it Mike that I got in the ring with at Brooklyn Park, or was that?
That was Chris Barger as partner.
Okay.
No, that's all. He got stomped in the back of the head by Destructor too. The Destructors are a little bit, they're on Rubber Leg Street right now. He comes
But
off
Chad's
the
another one that's a kind of a, he'd get rough with that. Shoulder was pretty
Randall, an
stiff.
impressive looking individual here. Mike Bauer, you know his credentials.
I think Mike was checking on him there when he got down low. He's just making sure he's okay because he's seen it.
Got him in the big arm bar, tagged off quickly to Chad Randall, seemingly got to get out of that ring by the count of 5.
And you know, Bob, it's tough when you're on top. The tag team.
You know, Chad would have stuck with it more, but Chad had a bad knee from football, and so the wrestling just aggravated his knee. So
Right.
that's why he just, you know, that's why he started to get it. He got away from it with us. I mean, I
Well,
remember
that's why the October 18th card happened.
That's all you can say about a big
Yeah.
clothesline. Flipped his man right over. Chad Randall now on the other end of the receiving end of it. The Destructors, the referee.
Well, you know, so Gizmo's got an interesting question. He says, with the new adult announcers arrested, your viewership increased? Our viewership constantly was getting more and more popular as the years went by. You know, remember, we were on the cable airwaves constantly from 1984 all the way here into 1987. So any fan base we had just kept growing. So the longer the show went, the more popular it seemed to get.
Right. We were one of the only constants on public
On
access.
On community television, yeah, and that not just in the Anoka market, the whole metro at this point in time. You know, we went across the whole Twin Cities late '84 with the show, so we were being blanketed in the whole metro, not to mention all the national cities.
Right.
So, yeah, it was just and so, but especially for the metro. So that's why when we mentioned this March Armory card, we hung up some posters downtown Anoka, and then we talked about it on the show, and we had 300 people show up because we had a constant fan base.
Right.
There's only one dud, and that was July, and that's because we didn't put any posters up and we weren't on the cable airwaves because Scott Tronson suspended us. See, that's the effect of this show. The show was so popular that when you're taken off the air and the word doesn't get out, nobody knows.
Right.
I mean, it's very simple. So, and even at that show, Dave, we had 50 people show up. And I call it a dud, but still, 50 people, a lot of people if you think about it.
Yep.
For indie wrestling. And another big, tough, stiff shoulder there by Chad.
Referee over there, 1. No, he's thrown off again. Pick him up, scoop slam, whammo, power slam. Referee diving. Destructors.
Another thing with shoulders, guys,
Referee seemingly losing
we're not
control
doing
of
it right
this
here.
match.
Shoulder should be your chest. You never want to hit with your actual shoulder. When you're going to do a shoulder, you want to go chest to chest.
He gets double teamed.
We can critique ourselves till the sun goes down.
Referee broke that
Yep.
one nicely.
Lockup is not right. Yeah. I'm not gonna critique us, guys. I'm not gonna critique us. Shame on me.
Oh, they're loosening the ring right up. We're gonna have to get the maintenance men out here after this match.
Well, you know,
There comes another
like you
destructor
said,
behind him.
hindsight's
They got that
2020.
manager of theirs roaming around the outside. I don't know who he is.
So this is
You
kind of
know.
an interesting question, Dave. Gizmo, the guys want to know. You never mentioned the ending of the TV broadcast of the NWF. Did it go off the air? No. The show kept going. So the way what happened was, when I sold the league to Ernie and I took care of the television then for many months, then when I decided I'm going to step away, I basically, Greg Bushman, my crew, then took over producing the show, and they just, everything was on, like, at that point, it was all on cruise control. You know, the crew was in place, they were filming it, they broadcast it. The only problem is nobody was saving the masters anymore, like I was. So they don't have any masters left. They didn't save them or dub them down. And the show just kept going. Then what happened is Jim Mitchell merged with the NWF and turned it into NCWA and continued our time slot with NCWA wrestling for many years
Yep.
until he stopped doing it. So that's what happened to the show. It transitioned to NCWA in the Metro with Jim Mitchell's operation.
And I even made the, you know, they'd have their call-in show like we had.
Yeah.
And I actually called in once and mentioned how they stole the time slot from a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And I helped chime in to say, Dave, you know, I kind of reiterated what you said there, said he's not lying. That's how it went down. And I remember that post. Because I seen it too. Somebody was talking about the NCWA and how good it was or whatever, and we kind of chimed in. And well, you know, you're talking about the live show, but then also on Facebook, you made a post and stuff defending the same thing again.
Yep.
You remember that too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He seemingly slept. Look out ahead of steam by Chad Randall.
Bob's great. He just needs somebody to commentate with.
Now he's a house of fire in that ring. He's going to
Wish we had somebody to commentate with him.
Goodbye to the Destructors. The referee seemingly got something.
Now I'm trying to remember. Is this the Kid Kelsey Pearl Harbor job?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't remember the matches on this one. I don't know if that happens in this one or not. I think in this one it's... I don't think so. I think this one's Kelsey against Steenerson, I think. It's a good match. A lot of the matches on here were good.
Yeah.
You can
So
see
you're saying
though,
I'm not on this show.
I don't think you were on this one. This was the one you weren't on for some reason. But I'm sure Gizmo and those guys are picking up on how rough they're getting. Like, they're really getting pretty rough here, all of them.
Oh, yeah.
You can see
Chad
it.
wasn't afraid to get rough with people.
No, like, Chad was a nice guy,
Yeah.
but he was as strong as an ox.
Well, that comes with football training. But...
Right.
Milk Armory. Now back to the action. The Destructors back in the ring after the referees. I thought he called them 3 times into the corner over there, but
John Hoffman, man, he looks like he's just a skinny kid, but he could, if it was a boxing match, he'd give you a clinic. Yeah.
And right here, he's just learning.
Yeah, he's just
You're
learning
wrestling.
the wrestling side of things. But he had the conditioning, because as a boxer, you know, it's total cardio. So he could definitely go the distance. The only thing I had to correct with John is, like, striking and wrestling. He would actually do his boxing jabs, and like, John, don't connect like that. You got to pull your punches here. He was so engraved in his head to punch and strike, and as a boxer would be, it's very hard to get them to pull a punch, you know, because it's not their mentality. So that was the only problem I had with John, but
Oh, I must take it back. One time
We still got to work on getting those guys.
Yeah, we do.
Beautiful white towel.
I mean, we've been talking about it for what, 2 years?
And I'm talking in the early days, John had this issue. Once we did the dry dock and stuff, he had it all kind of figured out pretty
Right.
good. But when he first came in, I remember that being an issue.
Be sure to tune into NWF
Super D's.
Professional Wrestling.
So we're seeing here.
With such
There's the
stars as
Barbarians.
Crusher Crossen, Mr. X, Kid USA Kelsey, Rattlesnake Jake, and many more.
There's that flying head scissors, modified my style. Almost looks like a Hurricanrana, Dave, if I just would have turned right.
Yeah.
I like doing it that way. I might have to try to. Oh, hang on, this dang phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is producer Jason Clausen here, reminding you to tune
There we
in
go.
to the NWF Saturday Afternoon Special, live from Group W Studios, only on Cable Channel 3.
Okay, boy, oh boy, I tell you, I'm really out of breath after that incredible last match, but let's get back to some more action here. Kid USA Kelsey now coming into the ring to take on Slick Steenerson. Let's go to the action.
This will be a good one. And who's the referee, Dave?
That would be one Mr. Jeff Dinsmore.
Yeah, Jeff Dinsmore, referee for this one. Great announcer, but he's roughing on this one. And guess what, Dave? He's got the shirt tucked in. How about that?
Yep.
Clear out those
This is for the U.S. title. That belt he's holding up is right back there, folks. Second one from the top there, that big one. U.S. title.
Let's see. Oh, must be behind my back.
Ooh, a rough pile driver. Kelsey need to get his legs up for that. There you go, Cortikin again.
Well, I think what it was is Kelsey was trying to fight it. And I think Troy just kind of said, nope, you're going up.
Let's see. There's a question. Sports Tech says, did they still do the wrestling with old man Tronson? What do they mean? What do you mean, did they still do the... Oh, you mean, was he... Yeah, Tronson worked for the cable company for a long time. He was still there.
It's 18, and I got a real bad headache.
Yeah, he was still there.
You're going to be ready for that March 20th card.
That's all set and signed. I won't back. Only thing I'm concentrating on.
And then, have you ever posted a picture of old man Tronson? I have. I mean, do you want to see what he looks like now?
Right now, when you got that title defense coming up March 20th.
When we're done with the show, I can bring a picture and show you. At least somewhat now. I mean, this is fairly, maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe. But the reason you're hearing the audio going quiet is because anything with NCWA or mention of NCWA, I had to mute out. So, yeah, everybody wants to see the picture of Tronson. They're saying, yes, yes, yes. I'll show you that when we get done with the show. It's kind of interesting to see. Yeah, so if the audio is quiet on the show, it's only because I had to take out all the NCWA talk. Because at the time, we were talking about merging with Larry's NCWA and NWF, making it one promotion. But then Larry pulled his crap, and that whole thing got axed. And we remained NWF, and we split with the whole NCWA thing. So anything mentioning NCWA would get eliminated. We're obviously talking NCWA stuff right now. Troy's so good at selling. But yeah, Troy, like I said, he doesn't look it here, but he weighed a legitimate 250 pounds. I watched him step on a scale right around this time period. And so he was thick and he was heavy, and I could not get him over for a body slam. And I'm here having a no slam, no belt match, and I had to slam him.
I'll tell you one thing, not just crush it.
That's Steve talking, so I had to take it out. NCWA stuff.
And Sean, do you remember where Old Man Tronson was from originally?
Blaine area, I believe. Andover, Blaine, somewhere in that area. I think.
There's comments from these individuals. Back to the action here.
Because I was just looking up.
From that last match, I tell you.
Scott Tronson on Facebook.
USA Kelsey dressed up in that red, white, and blue outfit. Oh my! I didn't look like the sight of where that blow was delivered.
Let me see here.
I don't think he has a Facebook account though. Or at least I've never seen one.
To the head.
Now, you know, I don't really care about the affair between these destructors and that big breakup. Big deal. I want to worry about this one coming up. I was signed to go against them. Kelsey's taking my place.
Check your phone real quick.
Kelsey's taking your place in the match against what?
He's taking my. I was supposed to team up with Parr. He asked me for help. I said.
Oh yeah.
But now.
Yeah, that's him.
Back out. But Kelsey will take my place.
Well, boy, I tell you, there's going to be a lot of paperwork being shuffled around for these next upcoming matches next week.
Yeah, I would say that's him.
Tag team matches.
But the picture I'm going to show is maybe 10 years earlier than this, and you can definitely tell it's Scott Tronson on the picture I show. Looks a lot like he did back in the day.
Well, I just thought, you know, we were talking about him, so.
Does it say he lives in Blaine?
No, it doesn't. I'm not going to say where he's currently located at on air.
He's in Minnesota still, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yes, he's still in Minnesota, just.
And more entertaining. Wrestling Federation. Kid USA Kelsey back in the ring.
Look at Troy. He put a rope around Kelsey's neck, and he's disguising it. He's disguising it, keeping the referee so he can't see it. Oh, this is classic. So good by Troy.
Oh, yeah.
And look at Kelsey. Look at the ref. He's like, I don't see it. No, he's choking him. And watch Troy start laughing at the camera when the referee looks away.
Take a look.
Oh, Troy is so good.
He's being blinded. Mr. Macho seemingly
We're all complaining. The referee's like, I don't see it. I don't see it. And they throw the rope out. Oh, pretty good stuff, huh?
Mr. Macho out there observing the action.
Those kind of things were so fun in watching a match. You don't do shenanigans like that anymore, Dave, do they? Like with a rope or a chain or something like that.
Not really.
God, it was so entertaining. You know, play with the crowd like that.
Ring the bell.
Nope, Macho came in.
Kelsey retains his U.S. lightweight title. Here they come. Parr and Kid Kelsey now seemingly paired together. Parr and Kid USA.
So yeah, Parr left the Destructors. This is just a storyline situation. And now he's with so now it's going to be the Mystery Man and John Hoffman against former partner Parr and Kelsey. And here comes Mr. Macho to referee the match with the cap on.
Didn't even know who they were going to have as a referee in this match. One of the original Destructors with the Mystery Man over here in the corner.
Very common for referees to always check you out. Make sure we're checking for his foreign objects.
Exactly.
One of the original Destructors, but they had quite a fallout about a month ago. And now they're paired up. Ring the bell. Let's go to ringside.
And typical Crusher Crosser, censoring. Positive comment made about me, and he hides it from the crowd.
Which comment? It says, look at Dave with the technical support in the background. What do you mean? What technical support?
What I sent you.
Oh, yeah, the picture. Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Boy, I tell you, there's no love lost between a lot of combatants.
I agree with that.
Big lockup.
You know, we're going to talk about the next Rewind show coming up, but just so you guys, I'll give you a little heads up. The Rewind shows going forward for the rest of the month here and December as well are going to be moved to Saturday. Just so you know, our Thursday Rewind show will be moved to Saturday an hour earlier.
And I will admit it's all my fault.
Dave's got a really hectic schedule with the holidays for his job. And I've got some things as well. So it's just out of mutual agreement, we're going to move the show to Saturday.
But
And
that is only for the rest of November and December.
and maybe the first January, the first week of January possibly. I think it might be one as well. But other than that, that'll be it. So we're talking like 3-4 shows.
Right.
So just FYI.
Sounds like an Indian reservation. Wounded knee, huh?
And Mystery Man's very first match ever. And he was normally just a manager, so this is the first time he's in the ring wrestling ever. He did all right.
Throws him into the corner. Whammo. Destructor 1 or 2, whichever one he was.
You see, Crusher's got that big bandage on his forehead. Something happened. I had a match where I got busted open, supposedly. But it was an NCWA match that I had to edit out.
Destructor 1.
So I can't remember. There's NCWA guys involved. That's why we didn't see what happened. That's why I got this big bandage on my head. You don't know what happened.
Right.
But it already took place.
Back body drop, whammo. Tags out to Kid USA Kelsey. Kid USA Kelsey. Oh, big forearm into the Mystery Man. In the corner, drags out the Destructor 1. But he takes off in time to the Mystery Man. Now he's got him both in the ring. Throws him into the corner. Picks him up right into the stomach. Kid USA Kelsey taking care of business in there.
I found that funny just out of habit. Gary was wanting to tag him.
He got out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that or not.
A knee in the back and a chop in the back of the Mystery Man. Now a low blow into the solar plexus. Back into the ring comes the
You know, that's the only thing I didn't like with Bobby commentating. All of our NWF heavyweight titles became light heavyweight titles.
Right. They're trying to justify.
heavyweight.
They're trying to justify that we're younger. But you notice the tag ropes? Kelsey's holding on to one right now.
Yeah.
And they have a tag rope in the opposite corner. We were big on tag ropes. You had to have the tag rope. And in fact, if you tried to tag in without the tag rope, you'd get the tag wouldn't be allowed. I don't know. Why have tag ropes not now become a thing where you don't do it anymore? I don't understand.
I don't know.
See the tag rope in the opposite corner there? No, he didn't have a hold of it. Technically, Macho shouldn't have allowed it.
There's a blow to the back of the head. The Mystery Man in the back of the head of Par hanging outside of the ropes right now. Tries to take out the Kid USA.
Well, you know, he was a heel,
Kid
so.
Kelsey.
Yeah, heels do that. I guess I could see that.
Kid Kelsey dancing in the ring, waiting.
Wayne says I was wondering about this, and I knew Wayne would correct us here. Wayne says the WWE still has tag ropes, so they still do them there. But like in the indie business, you just don't see it. Like I very seldomly see tag ropes ever. I don't know why that's. I don't know why that's not a thing. It's not hard to put a little rope on there. You know, it's not like it's a huge expense.
Maybe a buck in cost.
Right. If even that.
I'll give it credit with inflation and everything, maybe $2.
Right.
You know, you buy 2 feet of rope, cut it in half.
Now see what happened? Gary Parr just turned on Kelsey.
Yep.
Sneak. That's why I'm in the ring. Here comes Mike Bauer. We have all hell breaking loose.
Slick Steeners and Mike Bauer in there cleaning house on the Destructors. Off the ropes, he's out of the ring. Crusher Crossen laying there, beat to a pulp. Mike Bauer, Crusher Crossen, Kid USA Kelsey. Ring the bell as it's all broken loose. Referee calls for the bell. Bodies being deposited all over the place. Boy, I tell you, the way things have been going lately with the bad blood going around here in the NWF, can't even get a legitimate match anymore. They've been declared the winners, Kid USA Kelsey and Parr. Back after this. Crossen, I tell you, all me, him breaking.
Oh boy, here comes an interview with Crusher.
What is going on here?
Going on with this whole league? I mean,
We can't even get a match underway here in a proper way anymore. The referees.
I should have known better than to trust that.
We're gonna have to start having 2 referees per match.
Bandage on my head.
Well, I don't know what's going on. If I would have been in the corner, who knows what would have happened.
Kid Kelsey, what are you doing pairing up with this par?
Last week I got it. This week he got it. Next week everybody else.
Kid Kelsey, come on! I seemingly you got rolled.
What are they going to get, Crusher?
I don't know. What I'm trying to visualize. If I sound like Canary Kid here or Ricky Henry, the Globetrotter, they always seem to say I do.
And the Destroyers and their mystery manager. We've had it. From now on, you step in the ring with us, and you're messing with death.
Not only that, but Mike Bauer's out there too, and as you've seen, he come in the ring. He had a match with the Destructors last week, and they hurt Randall's knee. He's got a little brace, but we all got a little 2 cents.
Well, I tell you, so many things are going on around here in the league. I can't even tell you what's going on. Here they come now, the Destructors. What in the world is going on, fellas? Hey.
I don't. For one thing, it's the Destructors, not the Destroyers. Shows how high your IQ is, don't it, buddy?
Okay, but I just want to let you know, I'm the one running the production of the show. You guys just don't come in here and grab a microphone like that. What's going on here, Par? What's the deal with this?
Well, I thought about
Par, is that what your name is now? Par, Destructor? What do you want?
Crackle for you, pal.
Crackle.
I thought about this, and this was just a joke, and I guess
joke is right.
his head for a week. Give him a break.
Week, I tell you, joke is right with you guys. Par is not your name because you're not par for the course. We'll be back after this.
His opponent, the world lightweight champion, Crusher Crossen. Crusher Crossen going
Oh, we got Crusher against Macho, Mr. Macho.
Macho running around the ring like a chicken with his head
Mike
cut
and I could do a pretty good match, I think, at this point, but this wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst.
Kid USA Kelsey
Yeah.
at ringside here. Mr. Macho swinging a kick. Crusher Crossen. Crusher Crossen, ooh, hit to the face of Mr.
Mike Bauer's reffing it.
Mr. Macho is on rubber legs right now.
It's such a good setup in Dayton. I wish this would have worked out longer for us.
I agree.
The lighting unit up there, you can see above the ring, illuminating the ring really nice with lights.
Come on, Crossen!
Jamie's commentating and cheering for me.
Unbelievable. This should
Irish
be
Terror.
This would have been a main event.
Um,
Any armory card. But we got it today on TV.
Let's see. Comments here.
Kid USA Kelsey
Gizmo says, Crusher, we're all wondering what wrestling attire will be
I don't know where he
when you make your wrestling return. Boy, everybody's thinking that's going to happen, don't they?
punch to the midsection.
Well, if I make that wrestling return, we'll just have to see. I don't think I'm going to fit into that anymore. My old gear, which I still have, by the way.
You know, here's what I'm going to say, people. As much as Crusher and I act like we don't like each other on the show, I'm usually privy to information ahead of time. And I've not been told a thing about a return.
Nope, I mean, look, but I will say this: pay attention, pay attention.
You know what I'm going to say is, I think Crusher's getting into shape because he's getting to be an old fart and doesn't want to die tomorrow.
Well, you know, it's like this. You know, Ricky Henry's got that NWF Championship belt, and he's gloating around saying he's the greatest champion of all time, and he's saying a lot of stuff out of his mouth. And sometimes, you know, when you have a car that's not firing right on all cylinders, it tends to backfire. And I think Ricky Henry's going to find that all this is going to backfire at him. What am I trying to say there? Time will tell.
Crusher Crossen with his face in the mat right now. Kelsey over there looking very concerned. Macho's really working on that arm. I wonder what kind of super duper movies.
That's Jamie McPartland, the Irish Terror, commentating.
Win this match.
Before he was the storyteller he is today.
Try to win this match, but I don't know. Crusher Crossen beat him at the October Armory.
Sports Talk says the rings seem to have some bounce in it. Is this one of the new rings? Well, this is the ring we got. The official ring we got in July of '86. It's still the same ring. Nice drop kick.
Right.
And yeah, this ring was great. Did a nice. It was an old breakdown ring at a center spring. Oh, it was great to bump in.
Oh yeah.
Ah, we all mess up on that. I don't know why we try doing second rope stuff like that in the middle. Everybody. I did it myself. You lose your balance. What the hell are we doing?
Problem is the ropes weren't tight enough.
Right, if they're too loose. Not doing it right. See my knee? I had the wrong knee down.
Oh, he's got his neck in that neck breaker.
2020 is always hindsight, or hindsight's always 2020, Dave.
Yep.
Former U.S. heavyweight champion.
Mike didn't do it right either. What's the matter with us?
At the Brooklyn Park Armory card, Kelsey came over here and requested for me to state that again. He loves the word when he hears Macho is the ex-U.S.
Hit us.
And back to the action now, fans. Crusher Crossen, kick to the throat. Oh,
so the way Mike and I are working here right now, this was not a planned match or anything. We're just working. We're working the match. We're just, all our communication is happening spontaneously.
He caught him. Oh, no.
Oh, slam out the top.
Right onto the mat. That mat is really hard, and I should know.
You know, if you do ever return to the ring, I wouldn't recommend at your age doing that spot.
He missed with a leg drop.
Yeah, I feel that one in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Walking around on limping legs, Mr. Macho. Crusher Crossen.
Let me get this comment out, I
he
suppose.
was hit.
Then there's another comment from Damien. Says, we are not buying it. Crusher won't rest until he gets that 6th title. Well, I got to say, I've always said, this ain't nothing new. I do like the way 6-time champ sounds. I do like the way that sounds.
You know,
Ricky don't like the way that sounds, but I like the way that sounds.
1, 2, 3, he got him!
Is that Dave?
You know,
And still,
if our viewers
champion,
will remember,
Crossen!
back when it was announced that the title was going back into circulation, I commented, are you going to be able to handle it being on somebody else, or are you going to want to get back in the ring?
It's true. That is true. Dave did make a point to mention that. And but I think I don't know how I answered it. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I think I said something like, it just depends if he respects the belt. You know? Ricky, you know, I didn't like what I seen with him and Keaton. You know, he mocked Keaton. He didn't treat Keaton with respect. He went back to the old Ricky Henry that he was becoming before I guided him right. Ricky did a great dog and pony show for me and did all the things I wanted to see him do. He took my advice because he knew he could beat Ben if he did, and he did. But then when he got the belt, he wanted to do it his way. He wanted to go his way with things.
Right.
And that doesn't exactly sit well with me. Let me just say that. Here's a comment. Tell Ricky that he can't be the 2-time world champion unless he loses the belt. Who better to lose it to than you? Well, you know, everybody seems to think that there's going to be some kind of championship match. You know, remember, guys, you know, if you want to talk about me getting back in the ring, John McCann was the one that actually wanted me in a match. He's the one that was specifically calling me out for a match.
And
if you remember.
And on top
Ricky's
of that,
Ricky's one always says he'll never do it. He's ducking and dodging.
Well, not only that, but you know, to be honest, Crusher, you have not been in a ring in 35 years?
36 almost.
Okay. You're at the bottom of the list for contenders for the NWF World Heavyweight title right now. So if you were going to make a return, you'd have to build your way back up. the ladder to get a world title match.
Well, yeah, if they do it traditionally, but I don't think championship matches have the ranking system like they used to. I mean, look, some of these guys have gotten title shots already. Thomas Roach, he wasn't anywhere on that list of contenders, so you never know. But yeah, old school style, that would be the way of thinking, what Dave just said. But they're not necessarily...
I am an old school wrestler.
Yeah, they're just not necessarily doing a ranking thing like that anymore. Now it's the point where, like, if anybody can get a shot, it just matters if the promoter promotes it as a championship match or not. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. I know there was if you're on Instagram, there was a video that was posted that was pretty interesting. And it was on our Instagram. Did you guys all follow us on Instagram? I'm just curious.
Well, what we should say is, do they follow the NWF page? It doesn't matter if they follow you personally or me personally.
Right.
You follow the NWF page.
Right. I'm curious because, you see a lot of things there. You can go ahead and bring the comment in, Dave, if there's a comment. I'm looking for something right now, so I'm not paying attention, but you can bring the comment in.
Wayne says you have to win a #1 contenders match.
Yeah, #1 contenders match.
Yeah.
So there was this, guys. I'm going to bring this video in. For those of you not on Instagram, you didn't see this, and I don't think all our viewers watch or on Instagram. But there was this. I'm going to bring this in. I think I can bring it in. Now there's Crusher Crossen going up some stairs. Now there was music, of course, on Instagram, kind of a rocky theme here. And of course, the music's not on this particular video of it, but that is 110 steps of stairs, you guys. I do that every day in that same spot when I do my walk and jog. And 2026, here I come. Well, there you go. What does that mean, folks? What does that mean? 2026, here I come. I don't know. I guess what the... Dave?
I don't know. Nothing's been said to me.
No.
And
There's a little teaser video though that was on Instagram. I don't know how that got on there. Some egomaniac.
What I'm going to say is there's only been one time where Crusher never let me in on the inside information. And that was when we did the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
class.
I didn't want you to... Well, I told you I wasn't going to. You knew ahead of time I wasn't going to tell you anything on that,
Right.
Let's see. There's some comments and stuff. Let's see what they're saying here. This one says, we agree. Being Keaton, it was Ricky's favorite wrestler. I think he did the kid dirty in his premiere match. And it looks like the comment came in twice, but it's the same comment. Yeah. I mean, Ricky's definitely showing his dirty side on things these days. And dirty play, and he did it with Keaton. He broke his guitar. And yeah, that was the birth of the Globetrotter when all that went down.
Right.
That's like he said in the end of that match, the Canary Kid is dead. So the Canary Kid that everybody loved is no longer, is what he was saying. The funny thing is he was a huge, he was well liked. And now Dave, he is booed. Paulo Tarasi is a heel, came into the territory over there. And he had one of his last matches for that belt with him. And Paulo was cheered. In Ricky's home promotion. So think about that. So he's not well liked, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, sometimes being a heel is fun.
Yeah.
You got to admit that. I mean, yes, you spent the majority of your career as a babyface.
Yeah.
You got to admit, sometimes it feels good to be a heel.
It does. It can. But you know, it's going to be fun, guys. All I can tell you is this: it's going to be very fun. You know how, you remember the big storyline we had with Ricky and Ben leading up to the championship and everything. Well, what you guys are about to see here over the next few months is going to be not more exciting stuff. So just stay tuned to the podcast is all I can tell you. It's going to be a fun ride here. And we'll see what happens.
Got a comment from Sports Talk.
Let's see. What do you guys think of the name the Globetrotter? You mean the Ricky Henry Globetrotter? Let me share you guys a graphic here. I will bring in for you. I'm always sharing stuff. So get rid of this. I've done this one already. So we know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me find it here. Let's see. Talking about the Globetrotter, huh?
Are you going to show the Globetrotting Cub Scout picture again?
No, I'm not going to show that. I don't know which one's which, but let's see. I'll just bring them all. Or, I mean, I'm going to preview it first because I got to make sure what I'm going to show here. Not going to show the Cub Scout thing though, Dave. No. Because, we keep talking about this and everybody's like, who are you talking about here, right? So let's bring in who we're talking about here so you can get a visual. I think this is a good one for it to bring in. I'll bring in this one. The Globetrotter, Ricky Henry. With the NWF Championship belt. This is a very updated promo picture for him. And the question is, what do you guys think of the name the Globetrotter? Well, this is how he spells it, one word. And yes, that's a Top Gun font. Ricky Henry. What do you think? Do you like this or you like the Canary Kid? I'm curious what the crowd thinks. It's what he wants to be. I don't have a problem with gimmicks, whatever he wants.
No, I mean, look at Sean Waltman. He started out as a Lightning Kid.
Yeah.
Every kid has to evolve into an adult.
But he's holding that NWF belt, and I look at that, and here's what I don't like. I'm the 5-time champ. And has he ever given me any proper respect for being 5-time champ? No, he calls me Schmucker Crossen. He always refers to me as the 5-time loser of his belt every single show.
Well, I mean, he's taken that from me.
That could be, because I think you said it first.
Of course I said it first.
I
was saying it before Forward was a thing.
Dave has always wanted to have Ricky on the show. And maybe when we do Saturday, maybe you might see Ricky come on.
I'd love to have him on.
Because that's
actually
a day
have some talent aside from me on the air.
That's a day where he might pop in. I mean, that's a day he could do it. But yeah, do you guys like this shot of Ricky? I think it's a cool background. I like it. It's a good promo shot for Ricky. And notice he took our advice. That is not a Cub Scout salute, as Gizmo's pointing out here. He says, the salute is nice, but in Ireland, they salute with their right hand. Other than that, I love the new look. Oh, boy, gosh. Our military guys just know their shit here.
Yeah.
I had no idea on that either. I don't think Ricky did either. Ricky's right-handed, so that's why he's holding the belt with his right hand. I understand that. But at least he's doing a full hand salute. I'm not going to hold it against him on that one, Gizmo. But I agree. I mean, I know you're right. But yeah. And I thought Ricky played that so well when we called him out on the salute. If you notice, Ricky did the, when he's saying, no, it's not true. He's like he's Googling on the phone and everything. He's like, then he starts getting this like he's disappointed that he messed up himself and disappointed in himself. He really played it well. I liked how he did it. Ricky's a character.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love it if he comes on.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And the thing is, he'll come on one of our earlier shows, and then he'll just mock me because it'll be bad stuff in his eyes. Let's see. Gizmo says, I have to jump on him about that, but he always criticized our spelling. Well, yeah, I don't blame you. Ricky's such a stickler with spelling and stuff. If he's doing anything wrong, by all means, call him out. But yeah, this is a cool shot. But the one I like better is this. I'll show you the one I really like. Is this one? But the only problem is, hang on. Gotta find the right one. Wait a minute. All right, guys, I'm going to show you something else. Okay, so you're saying he's doing the wrong hand? Well, let's see here. There's also this shot. I didn't bring this in. But here is the correct hand, so you can't give him too much trouble. He is saluting right here. So he did switch it. This version. But the one I liked, that I thought it was a good shot, that came out good, is, and there's only one thing I don't like about it, and see if you guys can guess what it is. But I'm going to bring it in right now. So we remove this. You only did like 4 shots, but this particular one here, I hope I got the right one. This one. I think that's the best one. I like that shot. But there's one thing I don't like about this shot.
It's probably the same thing I don't like.
Well, don't say it, Dave. Let's see if the crowd can guess what I don't like about this shot.
Well,
don't say it, Dave.
I'm going to send you a message.
Oh, you can send me a message, yeah. But yeah, there's one thing I do not like about this picture compared to the other pictures we've seen. And guys, I want you to, let's guess, what is it that that irritates me in this shot? And probably Dave. Because Dave thinks like I do. I have a feeling he's going to tell me the same thing. Exactly.
I don't know you at all, Crusher.
Yeah.
I don't know you at all.
But I'm waiting for Gizmo and them guys to guess. Ah, they got it. They got it.
Yep.
So, Ricky, shame on you. Anytime, this is on Ricky. This is not on the camera guy. Anytime you get pictures taken, if you have somebody taking a picture, you get that belt out there. You show that belt.
Well, I mean, you can kind of see it.
Yeah, the side of it.
Yeah. But you can't really see him holding the title.
No, he just needed to turn himself a little bit. Same shot, just turn himself a little bit, and then it would have been good. But I love the shot.
Yeah.
I like the facial expression. I like the point. It's overexposed, but I can't fix that on his hand. I tried. It just doesn't look right when I try to fix it. Because I can isolate the hand and try to get that better, take some of that overexposure off, but it just looks weird. But other than that, I think this is a great shot. I like it.
You know, Crusher, there's something that you promised the crowd that you haven't fulfilled yet today.
Oh?
Yeah. What did everybody want to see earlier today? And you've already forgotten about it.
Oh, Scott Tronson.
Exactly.
And by the way, if you get that picture, the one you found, you could bring that in yourself.
Well, I found it on my cell phone, not on the Chromebook. But I did send it to you if you want to.
Yeah, but I don't think I can. It's on my phone too, so that doesn't do me any good.
Right.
But I'll show you the picture I got of Scott Tronson. Let me just get rid of these because we're done with these. I just wanted to show you guys Ricky Henry.
Well, you know what you could always do.
Name's Ricky. You know what I can do? I can always get Ricky. All I got to do is threaten Ricky of the old promos that my good friend Nathan Hoy shared with me. And if I threaten him with those promos, he'll do whatever I ask. Because he does not want to see 14-year-old Ricky on the screen. Anyway,
no,
name's Ricky.
Crusher, what you could do is you could email it
I'm not going to worry about it, Dave. This picture I'm going to show is going to show him pretty much what he looks like. It's not that big of a difference. All he has is a beard in yours.
Yeah.
So he's got a beard now. But anyway, here's Scott Tronson. Let me just find it here. Where do I have it? Sure it's not there, and it's not. I think it's in documents. All right, just got to find it. I don't see it in documents. It must be in backed up. All right, where are you, Scott? There he is. Okay, you ready? Here's Scott Tronson. There he is, old man Tronson. This is probably 15 years ago, maybe 20, maybe 15, 20 years ago. That's pretty much what he looked like back in the day, just younger. Figure a guy like this in his early 20s with that same look. Not as heavy. When he was younger, he didn't have all that weight in his face, but
right.
And he didn't have as much of a receding hairline, but yeah, that's him. That's the commenter saying that's the monster that terrorized the kids. Well, he didn't terrorize us. He just wasn't, as we would say back in the day, he was an asshole to us. That's how we would refer to him in those days when we were talking amongst ourselves. No, Scott wasn't a fighter and he wasn't a fan. He was just an authoritarian. Guys say, you guys could have taken him. Yeah, we could have, but he wasn't like that. He was just an arrogant a-hole. Plain and simple. No other way to put it. And look, I'm just being honest with you. And if I ever seen Scott, I would tell him that. Even today, I said, you were a jerk to us. You were. And that's just the way it was. Now, whether, if he wants to try to defend himself on it today, all these years later, I'd certainly like to know what he's defending. Because he wasn't, who's that?
I'll explain after we go off.
Oh, yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're as Hernandez would say, stop.
What?
As Hernandez would say, stop messaging him. So
I just wanted to find out if it was the right person.
Yeah.
Curiosity's getting the best of me.
The times we've ever reached out to him, though, he's never wanted to really be a part of it. His life's in a whole different place, and he doesn't really think about any of this.
Let's see. It looks like we've got a couple more messages, or another message in.
This one says, I wonder what job he finally ended up working. I don't know. I think he worked in data something or another, some kind of data stuff from what I remember coming across.
Well,
I don't know what he does.
If the profile I found is correct, nothing to do with computer data stuff.
Yeah, who knows? Everybody changes their careers and stuff, what they've been doing. Initially, I went into architectural design, and I don't do that anymore.
Right.
So everybody goes in different paths. But anyways, let me talk about then. I mean, we talked about it a bit, but I want to talk about what is coming up. By the way, there's no world title defense coming up for Ricky on the next show. The NIPW card they're doing Sunday is sold out. And Ricky is involved in a 4-way match for a #1 contendership situation, not for the NWF belt, I don't think, but it's something else, some kind of a 4-way match that's going to determine somehow a #1 contender or something, kind of like I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it right because I'm going to butcher what I'm saying, but
it's
he's
a
not
four-way
involved.
dance It's a
four-way
four-way
match.
dance match.
Dance match, and it's not involving the belt. So nothing going on there. Ricky's not at risk of losing the title. This is what's coming up then. Oh, I got to get that comment off because I left it up. So this is what's coming up. As you can see, live on Saturday, November 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's studio taping 114 from the dry dock with Dynamite Dion Dallas with a terroring look on his face. One of the dry dock shows. It's one of the later shows that we did. We're getting to the end of the dry dock catalog, so now we're hitting the end of the NWF catalog here now. Pretty close. I think this is like the second to last taping. And yeah, so we're getting to the end. But that'll be there. And that, you know what that means? When we do a dry dock show, the next one will be Group W cable. After this, we go back to the beginning.
Yep.
And so I think our Group W shows, I think it's going to be that one that went up on the network that we previewed last time, is that Studio Taping 31. That'll be the one that we're going to show after that one. So, yeah, you guys, Gizmo, are you guys, I'm curious, is the crew cool? Are you guys going to be available on Saturday for our show for the next few Saturdays? I just don't know if that's a time that works for the Gizmo crew. But we just have to make some changes for the next couple months because it's just needed to be done. And it's only temporary. Then we'll go back to Thursdays after the first of the year, like Dave said. So, oh, there's comments. Yeah, Gizmo and them are saying, yeah, they're good for Saturdays. So, okay, good.
Okay. I apologize, but with my regular full-time job, I work with the shipping company, and
it's holiday season.
So things are going to go nuts.
And with that, in addition to Dave being super busy with the holiday season, I'm getting super busy the next few months.
Right.
And that's all I'm going to say. And that's also part of the equation. So, boy, we're giving them all sorts of things to think about, aren't we, Dave? As Ricky would say, Crusher, you and your big mouth. Yep, I got a habit of having a big mouth. By the way, guys, Ricky just turned 18, as you know, and you know what he got for his birthday?
Good Swift kick in the ass?
Well, at least that's what I had to give him. No, he got a nice new car. Oh. Not a new car, but a car. So when he gets his driver's license, he'll have a set of wheels. How about that?
Always a nice thing to have. So then he can chauffeur you around if you make it back over to Ireland.
If he has his license by then, you know, Ricky's dragging his feet there. You know, I should say dragging his ass. He needs to get on top of that and get his license.
Well, you know, he's a busy man defending that NWF title, wrestling all over the world, and not in kayfabe.
You know, it's funny. Gizmo says, you told us everything except the date. Actually, that's not true, Gizmo. If you were on Instagram, I posted a story. And I didn't say anything much, but I did post a story, which now is expired. And there was a date there. And if you read between the lines, I did post a date. So this is why I'm saying, you guys, see those Instagram handles down there? You need to follow us because you never know what is going to come up on Instagram. But I'll tell you right now, a lot of things, you're going to hear things on Instagram a lot sooner than this podcast. I'll just say that. Instagram is where things happen, you know, news comes up immediately. So, but yeah, everybody's in suspense. It's going to be fun times. I tell you this much though, whenever I get out to Ireland next, I don't know when that's going to be. And Ricky does this shoot challenge with me in the training. You know, Dave, there's only one. Here's the thing with me and Ricky shooting. I don't know what's going to happen. Neither does he. He can say he thinks he can beat me. Go ahead and say all you want. I can too.
Right.
Honestly, who the hell knows? But I'll tell you this much. There's going to be one. If I do that, and if that happens, and if we record it, there's a lot of ifs here. There's going to be one real winner here. You know who that is?
The fans, because they'll get to see it.
Well, besides that, in Ireland, if I ever did that, there's going to be one winner. One person wins in this, no matter what.
Yeah.
Nathan Hoy. Because if I beat Ricky, Nathan's going to give Ricky shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to say, this guy's a senior citizen. What the hell have you been listening to here? And if Ricky beats me, he's going to say, Crusher, I thought you were the 5-time champ. He's the real winner.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's that. But all I know is this, the smart, tough guy that Ricky is, if he thinks that it's like I'm over the hill or something, and just like that Tony Bentley guy, whatever his name is on forward, that keeps chiming in and saying, Crusher, we don't want to see another Ric Flair. Let me tell you something. If I ever get back in the ring, you're not going to see another Ric Flair. But I'll tell you this, Tony's training to be a wrestler. Come up to Northern Ireland. I'd be happy to shoot with Tony as well. Calling me Ric Flair at 50. Ooh, Tony. I want to get Tony on as a guest, though. I think that'd be a great guest.
Yeah.
Forward. Want to get him on. Another comment, Damien says, besides that, it's all about the fans. What do they mean besides that?
Well, like I said, the fans are the ones that win because they'll get to see.
Yeah, we'll get to see. Ricky made the comment too as we got to the show. He goes, Crusher, the fact that you're losing weight, you're only making it easier for me. He's insinuating by saying that he's somehow stronger than me. And if I lose weight, it's more of an equal playing field. Don't assume you're stronger than me, Ricky. You might be quicker and you might be slipperier, more slipperier to get a hold of. But remember, Crusher's added a bunch of muscle now too. So if you think if Ricky thinks he's stronger than me, that's a bad assumption. That could be his downfall right there. Just saying.
True.
So, I'm not, look guys, do you think I want to get embarrassed by an 18-year-old kid? No. Hell no.
Now, Crusher, you brought up what's going on Rewind. What's coming up on Forward?
Well, see, I don't have a graphic for it because I don't have complete confirmation, but I've got some confirmation. Remember the father, if you remember on Forward, we talked about the father-son combo that was in Primo's premiere with Daryl Becker in Denver, where the young kid made his debut on a show with his dad, and they're both wrestling. So it's like a father-son deal. They're coming on. They're going to come on as guests, and they tentatively say they want to do the 14th, but then I reminded them of the time, that would be a Friday at 3 p.m. their time. And I don't know if that's too early for them. He might be in school still.
Right.
So then I said, are you sure you don't want to go the 28th of November, which would be Black Friday, which everybody's off?
Right.
That might work better. So just waiting for confirmation. We may have so next Friday, it's either going to be those guys as planned on the 14th, or it's going to be just me and Ricky. I won't have a guest then if we're going to push them to the other one. So unless we get a last minute guest, maybe we get Tony to come on. I want this Tony Bentley guy on. I want to talk to him. He's a referee, youngest referee in Ireland. It's kind of a slogan, I think. And he's training to be a wrestler. Was highly influenced by Ricky Henry.
Okay.
So he says. And so I think he'd make a great guest. And I like to talk to him about his wrestling training and everything. I think it'd be a good interview and stuff. So yeah, we got that on the back burner. I'm also going to reach out to Sean Hernandez again, and I'm going to get set up with CC Carter and his new tag team partner. I think that would be a great interview. And I'm sure Smalls would like to come back on again at some point. So those are ones that I'm kind of got on the back burners that I'm going to eventually.
You'll have to tell Hernandez I say hello.
Yeah. He's busy, he's really got, things are going good for him and with the school and everything and training. And so he doesn't necessarily come on the show with us anymore. But
well, I'm saying if you reach out to him to talk to him about bringing his people on.
Yep.
You'll have to tell him I say hello.
Yeah. I like showcase, he feeds us guys for the Forward show, and I love it. And he loves the fact that we give them exposure. It's a win-win. So,
Right.
I'm going to keep those relationships going. This goes for any indie fed out there. I'd bring anybody on if they reached out to me. And speaking of which, the guy that Wayne knows, that messaged me on Instagram,
Like right
Gator,
before we went live.
right before live, Gator McGraw, he says he'd like to come on as a guest on Rewind here. So I definitely want to do that. And also, Jamie McParland's going to join us on Forward with me and Ricky, because Ricky wanted Jamie on as a guest because he really liked him on Keaton's show.
Right.
And Jamie's going to do that for us the end of December. So that Forward show will be Jamie McParland as special guest. And Ricky's excited. He said he's saving all his lines for that show. I can only imagine what's going to come out of the kid's mouth. So we'll have to see what happens there. So lots of things to watch for you guys. Exciting stuff coming into the holiday season for the NWF.
The past couple of years we've taken the holiday season off. This year we're just going to keep right on trucking.
Yeah, we're going to keep trucking because whenever we've done that, Dave, we've lost viewers. So like we've had regular viewers before, and when we take that break, we lose them. So I don't want to have that happen. Not that Gizmo would stop watching, but I just want to keep rolling through it this time. And I know that's why we're adjusting things and days and stuff.
Right.
So, and then, I think Wayne should come on that show too. That would probably make sense that Wayne joins him as well. And we have the Gator, McGraw, and Wayne together. That might make a good show. I think we do that. I'm trying to figure what show we should watch, though. I know Wayne would probably say it would make sense to do that on like a backyard show that we did.
Well, that way he can give us crap about being backyard wrestlers.
Yeah, it would definitely make for conversation with me and Wayne for sure. And look, guys, Wayne and we get along just fine, but we love to debate that. And so he likes to debate, and so do I. So we like to talk that. And
well, it's
Wayne
real
will give
plain
his
and
2
simple.
cents. Yeah.
Wayne wants to say that we're backyard wrestlers. We say that we're untrained professional wrestlers.
Right. Doing untrained, pro wrestling untrained.
We didn't make a habit out of backyards like backyard feds do. And
I got to remind Wayne and Dave, I don't have to remind Dave, but I got to remind Wayne and anybody else. We did, I think, upwards of 90 plus tapings, total, armories, everything. Only 3 were done in the backyard. 3 days of the 90. So, but here's the thing. That's how powerful that image is. This is why Wayne says what he says. When you see pro wrestling in a backyard, what goes to your mind?
Right.
Backyard wrestling. So I don't fault, it's not Wayne's, I don't blame Wayne. It's just the mentality of thinking. But you got to understand, in the 80s, nobody thought of it that way. Ed Sharkey didn't think of it that way.
If we were a backyard fed, Ed would have said, see ya.
Yeah, it was frowned on from the indie guys at the time. Like they didn't necessarily mingle with backyard. So, but like I said, we weren't you know why we weren't frowned on for being in a backyard at that time? Because there was nothing negative about it. The negativity came in the 90s. That's when the bad image came of backyard wrestling, was in the 90s, not in our era. So the fact that we were in a backyard was just, they're in a backyard. It wasn't looked at as. So here's my problem with it, Wayne, and we'll talk about it when Wayne comes on with this. It'll be a great conversation. I don't want to be labeled backyard because that has got a negative rap that doesn't belong to us because we're not part of that era of it. Does that make sense?
What we were trying to do is we were trying to emulate the athleticism of what was going on in the ring.
Right. That's why I defend what I say. Now, I understand Wayne's perspective on it, and that is it's backyarder is a phrase now that's referred to untrained professional wrestling. I get it.
Right.
But I'm just saying that in 1980s, not then it wasn't.
84 to 88, there was no such thing as backyard wrestling.
No, you never had that terminology. So, And it's not fair to label as something that, in my opinion, that wasn't really defined that way at the time.
Right.
Had we been doing it in the 90s through the backyard craze, I'd agree. I'd agree. But we weren't. We were doing it before them. Now, Wayne says, too, you should be proud that you did that. You were the pioneers. I don't think we necessarily influenced guys to start doing it in the back. You know who influenced guys to do it in the backyard over us, Dave? Mick Foley, jumping off his roof. Hardcore, ECW. They're the real influencers of it. Now, I know not all backyard is like that, but the majority of it was.
Right.
And so they're the ones that should get the credit of being the pioneers of it because they're the ones that influenced it. You know, we didn't necessarily influence anybody to do it. We were influenced by the AWA, NWA, and WWF.
Right. And I am going to say thank you to Gizmo for his comment.
Backyard, hell no. You guys were on TV back in the 80s. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Backyard wasn't on TV or cable. No, there were some actually that were doing cable stuff. You know, it was the tail end of community television being viable, but it was not as effective and it wasn't as consistent as what we did, and it wasn't as widespread as we did on cable. It was very isolated, like in their own communities. But yeah. Yes, I don't. That's my take, Wayne. And you know what? But I don't. That's just my opinion. Wayne has his, and I do not. I've said this before. I will never, ever discourage somebody from speaking their opinion or giving their point of view if that's what they believe, and I would respect their opinion.
Right.
I don't care politically, whatever the case is. It doesn't matter. I'm going to respect your opinion just as long as you respect mine.
Correct.
That's my rule. So I'm never going to tell somebody they're wrong.
We've been rambling on. It's been 2 hours.
Yep, we are at the end of the show. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And Wayne's going to end us with this comment. You were an influence. Kids starting their own wrestling promotion. Yeah, we were in that respect. But I just don't know how much of an influence it was on the actual backyard craze.
Right.
But yeah, I think, especially when I wrote my book and documentary, I think that really did influence kids. That, you know, kids could do something like this. And I've had people tell me that much, that they read my book when they were a kid, and they've come back to me years later saying that was such an influence on their life. You know, they maybe didn't get as far as we did, but they tried.
And the book is available at nwfwrestling.com.
Yep. Yeah, it is. But yeah, Wayne, you should come on with us when we bring McGraw in. I think that would be a great show. I don't know when it'll happen. If we want to try to do a backyard taping, it's probably going to be sometime in January by the time we get to that again. But I think it makes sense to do one of the backyard shows, though, for that we did in a backyard, I should say. It'll give a nice backdrop for our conversation. But yeah. It was a great show tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time we are live.
See you in 2 weeks, folks.